DrayZera Uncensored with our co-host Jack E. Hyde. Yo!
Another episode of DrayZera Uncensored, and OMG, we have got an episode for you. But this episode is so mahoosive, I can't do this by myself. So, to bring forth my co-host and the man with the plan that decided on this topic, Mr. Jack E. Hyde. How are you, man?
Hey. Yeah, I'm cool, man. Hope you're alright.
I give you all that build-up, you're like, hi.
Yeah, I was like, wow, what an intro.
Right, let's just get straight into it, man. So, this podcast, I cannot believe we will be discussing this in 2020, but you've made me too fascinated, so we had to do this. So, is Tupac dead or alive?
Dun dun dun.
Oh my days, the amount of research and video clips and voice clips you sent me and for me to research is just mad. I mean, it literally opened a whole can of worms, because for me, initially, because obviously me and you, well, you just about, but I was around when Tupac was still alive, and I was as a kid I was jamming to California, and all that kind of jazz, right? But I legit just thought, he's dead, but obviously I never looked into it until the other day when you just gave me all these videos. And there's been spottings of him in Cuba. I just watched a video just before the podcast began, and apparently he's now in Malaysia. Right, so, in your opinion, is he dead or alive?
I absolutely have no idea. I'd like to think he's alive and shit, but then, I don't know. There's a lot that say, I don't know. I suppose it could go either way, really.
I mean, the thing is...
There's a lot of stuff to say he's alive still.
I mean, here's the thing, right? Now, there have been so many video clips of apparently Tupac, with inverted commas, just being spotted in basketball courts, spotted apparently selfie with Rihanna, and there's been clips of him just randomly in YouTube ciphers, video ciphers.
Like keeps saying he's alive, and that was like his old manager. So that's like, yeah.
I mean,
Suge Knight was sitting next to him when he got shot, and the car got shot like.
Let's roll this back a little bit, because we're gonna have a load of readers and listeners that doesn't really know about the whole Tupac story. So, in your own words,
next to him though. And he didn't get shot once. He got like a graze on the head.
Right. Let's roll it back a little bit. So, all right. In your own words, Jack, what happened? How did he die? And what actually happened? Like, basically, what was told what happened, and what do you think? So you tell the story, because I feel that you're far more knowledgeable in what specifically happened.
From what I can remember, this is going a few years. I can remember Snoop Dogg talking about it in an interview, and he said that they all got on the plane, and then when they got off the plane, they all got all their weapons taken off them because they were going to a Mike Tyson fight in Las Vegas or something. And then, they had all their weapons taken off them, and then they went to the Mike Tyson fight. After that, they got in a fight with a gang member or something, when they were leaving through the lobby and shit. And then, they got in the cars, and then someone pulled up on the side of their car and shot their car 12 times. Tupac got shot, I can't remember how many times he got shot now. Yeah, that was on September the 7th, though. And then you've got all the 7 Day Theory stuff, haven't you? The album that came out afterwards was called Machiavelli for Don Illuminati 7 Day Theory. He shot on the 7th, he survived on the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, died on the Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Which is quite weird. And he died at 4:03, which is adds up to 7. He was 25 years old, adds up to 7.
Wait. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, 2 plus 1. Oh my god,
Yeah.
this is mad. Yeah, go on.
I've heard some weird conspiracy theories about it.
Yeah, it's just weird. I mean,
The only thing mentioned on that album was Exit Tupac and Machiavelli. And Machiavelli was an old poet, weren't he? Who faked his death, I think. Yeah.
It's just incredible. I mean, here's the thing, right? And here is the very curious subject here. First and foremost, I'm just going to say this off the bat. If Tupac was a white man, this would have been dead, debunked, as in this would have been proven by this time. And I feel that the police, and you have to think about those times as well as now, racism is still rife, and I believe that if Tupac
was around Rodney King times as well, weren't it?
Exactly. I mean,
you couldn't trust the police then with that type of stuff.
Exactly, and I felt that as Tupac is a man of color, I feel that a man like him, he should have been far more protected and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I mean, what the hell were his security guards?
Mum and Dad were.
Where were they?
They were Black Panther members.
So explain to everybody what is Black Panther, because to most listeners, Black Panther is the Marvel film, and the comic. So you explain what Black Panther is.
Get my Google definition up.
I thought you were going to read it off your head.
Black Panther Party. And
this is the level of professionalism that we have on the DrayZera UNCENSORED podcast.
Party was a revolutionary socialist political organisation founded by Marxist college students Bobby Seale and Huey Newton in October 1966. And yeah, I don't know what all this means. Basically,
too many long words. Yeah, go on.
Practice on its open carry armed citizens patrols to monitor the behaviour of officers in the Oakland Police Department and challenge police brutality in the city.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
The party instituted free breakfast for children programs to address food injustice and the community health clinics for education and treatment of diseases including sickle cell. I don't know what this means.
Alright, here's something interesting. So I'm reading up this Enemy article about Tupac still alive rumors. This was written a few years ago. So I'm going to read this bit about the cremation and the cancelled memorial. I'm going to read this out. The events shortly following his death have been equally contentious. Tupac was swiftly cremated the day after his shooting in a private ceremony that Suge Knight reportedly paid $3 million to secure. The cremator listed Tupac's body as being 72 inches or 6 foot and his weight is 215 pounds, while his driver's license identified him as 5'10 and 168 pounds. The cremator then retired, vanished, and never been heard since. A planned memorial for Tupac, which press were banned from, was also shelved at last minute, leaving Knight and that long since vanished cremator as the sole person to have seen Tupac's dead body. That is so weird.
When you're murdered as well, you'd want to do the autopsies and shit, wouldn't you? But
yeah, where's the autopsy?
No, there weren't, I don't think.
But why? There's always an autopsy. What about his
celebrity as well, that you thought they would have done that. They had fake pictures out with one, but yeah, there was fake pictures.
Just wow. I mean, here's another thing, right? And this is me playing devil's advocate here, right, in this discussion of whether Tupac's dead or alive. So, if Tupac, let's say Tupac faked his own death, or pretended that he died, and he's hiding somewhere either in Cuba or Malaysia, wouldn't it make sense for him to stop coming into America? Because you've got to think about it this way. If Tupac was dead, how the hell would he go through US security unless he would have some sort of fake passport?
Yeah, there was actually a picture of a fake passport for him.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that had all the wrong height and shit on it.
This is just curious to me because if you think about it, man, say he died in 96, right?
Yeah.
He died in 96, so back in those days, you wouldn't have bio-registration kind of modernized kind of passport check-ins like these days. So.
Nah, before 9/11, weren't it? So everything was more freely. They didn't really care as much, did they?
I'm thinking, how in the hell would he get a passport where, I guess, in theory, it is America. You could probably get a good...
There's also rumour that he was picked up in a helicopter instead of an ambulance after he got shot.
Oh, yeah, because apparently a helicopter is a lot more harder to track down. It's just, yeah, it's just mad. And here's an interesting point. This Cuba connection, apparently, so I'm reading here, that Tupac's aunt is a political activist and the former Black Liberation Army member, Assata Shakur, who lives in Cuba granting asylum in 1984. Wow, so, you know, yeah, and it's interesting, like, it's just very fascinating. You know...
Deeper than rap.
So deep. It just really makes me wonder, because so many conflicting reports, and the interesting thing is that here's another thing that's apparently weird. So when apparently this photo of Tupac and Rihanna surfaced of rumors of both of them dating, right? Yeah. Apparently Drake didn't like that, and apparently Drake wanted to start a beef with Tupac, but then. And then apparently, because Tupac apparently has a lot of fingers and pies in the music industry, right? Apparently Drake backed off because apparently Tupac can destroy careers, even though he's apparently dead. Oh, also, did you that video you sent me with the whole kind of So, what, Tupac performing at Coachella with this hologram, right? And there's this massive theory that is not a hologram, that's actually him through glass.
Have you seen the whole thing yet?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I have. And what do you think about that? I mean, did he perform Coachella? And B, alright, I'm going to play another bit of devil's advocate now. I'm not going to say that people of an older age can still be ripped. I'm pretty sure he probably can be, but...
Could you imagine actually being at Coachella, like, drunk as fuck, and you're sitting there, like, proper swirling out, and then you just look at the stage and Tupac's there, like, rapping. You'd be like, what?
How would you react if that was you?
I don't know. Depends how I saw it, like, happen. If he just, like, popped up, like, oh, what the fuck's happening?
Yeah, like, it's just mad, like him just performing at Coachella. I'm just because I watched the video clip of that whole overall video. Like, I'm just gonna watch this in detail. Like, right. So here's the thing, right? So I'm watching it now of this performance kind of thing, right? Yeah. And here is the thing. He looks as if he's actually there. If that makes sense. And what year was this? This was in 2012. 2012.
And shit as well, and that's like, how do you know? Did that exist back then?
Yeah. What holograms? Well, I think holograms. Coachella was around back then. Yeah, Coachella was around back then. And here's the interesting thing, right? Here's the interesting thing that makes me think it's not a hologram, and I'm just being curious here. So. Here's the thing that's very, very weird. So I'm watching this video clip here, and you see, you know how lighting works in stage, right? And if lighting does occur, yeah, right, then wouldn't the light reflect off the hologram? But it didn't.
Yeah.
Now also here, and also. The thing is, though, is that if it was a hologram, wouldn't it be a fraction more transparent?
Yeah.
I mean...
It's just the way the clothes move and that as well.
Like do you
that's
think...
like better than video game graphics.
And we're talking 2012, like, the PS4 and the Xbox One went out back then.
But yeah, you can see him breathing and everything with his chains all bouncing around.
So... does that make you a believer that Tupac is alive?
I don't know.
What is stopping you from thinking? You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
It's just like respect from that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just I mean, I mean, thing is though.
Such a weird. I don't know. He spoke about it so much in songs as well, so you don't really know.
Yeah, coded in like in what was it? His last album? What was it called? The Machiavelli Repeat. What was the album called?
Machiavelli, the Don Illuminati, 7 Day Theory.
That's his album title, and he penned that title. Did he pen that title before he died?
Yeah.
So.
That came out after he died as well.
But he started recording it, and the album title decision was made before he died, correct?
Yeah.
So, alright, I'm going to throw this absolute wild theory to you. Do you think that this whole death, or the whole thing, the whole situation that led up to the apparent death of Tupac, do you believe this was all staged from the start? Because this is far too coincidental for him to just suddenly become some sort of prophesizer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying here? Do you think he faked this whole... Do you think he planned it from the start, and the people that tried to shoot him, they were in on it from the start?
Yeah, I don't know.
But do you get what I'm saying here? I'm just trying to be logical here. I mean, in what...
Again?
I'm just trying to be logical here, Jack. I mean, how in the world can you just plan that far ahead of something so, like, meticulous if it's all just...
Like he's been telling everyone it's going to happen, and then that happened.
Exactly. It's cool.
Preparing them.
It's just absolutely mad. Oh, man. Oh, just... Because it's literally racking my brains. And also, the whole kind of theory of the discussion of people smoking his cremation, that's just weird.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, he didn't even have a rest in peace or anything on his album, or like anything saying rest in peace Tupac. That's literally, that literally said exit Tupac, enter Machiavelli.
Which Machiavelli, as you said, a poet that faked his own death. So...
Yeah, and he's crucified on the front of the album.
And for all those that aren't that religious, Jesus apparently, resurrected and went, yo fam, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I probably didn't think he said yo fam when he will. I don't think that language was around 2,000 plus years ago.
Apparently on the first song of the Machiavelli Don Illuminati 7 Day Theory album, that's called Bomb First, he says Suge shot me at the start. At the very opening seconds.
Ah, my God. And wait, nobody was... I also did some research as well. Nobody got arrested.
You see, these are lyrics from a song called Ain't Hard to Find. I heard rumour that I died, murdered in cold blood, traumatised. Pictures of me in my final stage, mama cried. But that was fiction. Some coward got the story twisted. Like I no longer existed, been mysteriously missing.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That is... not only those are great lyrics, those are some weird-ass lyrics in contextualization of the whole story that got planned. So wait, hold on. I think arrests were made, but nobody got charged. Nobody got in trouble for it.
Yeah, it's just weird, isn't it?
It's just mad, oh man. I'm just gonna type in quickly Tupac Malaysia.
There's a music video called Smile, and he's crucified in the music video. And it started at the beginning, and then his car's all been shot up. So it's like,
yeah, it's just mad. It's been just mad. Oh my God, if Tupac would what? If he died at the age of 25 in '96, it's 23 years now. He would be 49, 50 now.
Yeah.
Right, kind of thing. And at Coachella was 8 years ago, so he would have been in his early 40s, if that wasn't a hologram. You know what I mean?
There's a song where Tupac says he's alive. Hold your head on the Machiavelli CD before Tupac begins rapping and a voice say, can you see him? Another voice applauds, I see him. Then Tupac softly says, I'm alive.
Oh my God. This is mad.
Yeah. I'm alive.
I'm alive. I'm alive. Yes. My God, like, oh my days, like, this is just mad, like. Alright, here's the thing, here's this photo with 50 Cent now. This doesn't look, is that, have you seen that photo of 50 Cent, like I'm looking at now? Yeah. I don't know if it's photoshopped with Tupac, or is that looks marginally more photoshopped with 50 Cent just because of the lighting. I don't even know, man.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I'm looking at it now as well.
Mm-hmm. It's just mad right here. Okay, guys, comment below if you think Tupac is alive or dead. Me, oh, man.
There's one in Django as well.
Oh, yeah?
It's in Django, when there's that big gunfight in the house, and they're playing the Tupac song, and he starts saying, "Expect me to come back, I'm coming," and no.
Oh, my days. Right. Alright, I'm gonna give you a blanket question. You can only answer yes or no. You can't say I don't know. Is Tupac alive? No, I don't know. No, I don't know. I know that's one of your favourite catchphrases, right? Yes or no?
Yeah. Fuck it, we'll say yeah.
You know what? I'm going to say...
There's more point into him being alive than there is to him being dead.
Exactly. Tupac is alive! Tupac, if you are alive, right, come to the DrayZera Uncensored podcast. We will happily interview you.
We'll give you a voice changer. We can't find out it's you. Give you a false name.
How in the world are they going to track us? We
also,
can...
have you heard there's a rapper called Black Haze, and he sounds exactly the same as Tupac?
God's sake. Black Haze, yeah?
Yeah, wait. Will I be able to play this on the podcast?
I would say for copyright reasons, don't play music. but I will double check and research in Black Haze.
Yeah.
Okay, I just
ridiculously sound like Tupac.
Well, guys, that was a mad thing. So now we're gonna move on to the next section of the podcast, and we have got an amazing woman. Her name is the Lion Queen, Becka Mysteries. Welcome back to DrayZera Uncensored with yours truly, DrayZera, and we have got a very special guest. Now, for all those that have been checking out the Palm Chronicles series, you may recognize this voice. Some say this voice might come from down under. Here is the Lion Queen herself, Becka! Yo, welcome!
Welcome! Thank you for having me.
Wow, that matched the extrovert nature of my introduction to you. That I'm impressed.
Yeah. I thought I'd, put it out there a bit.
There's nothing wrong with putting out the lion's roar. I see what you did there. So Becka, so we're recording this a few days before episode 4, the finale, comes out. So by the time this comes out, it'll already be done. So, I know, it's very interesting. So what are your thoughts on the Palm Chronicles series so far?
Wow, quite like this phone call, I'm enjoying the movement through time and space. It's been really interesting, actually, to see the mashup, to see the spoken, to hear myself speaking, and then to hear your poetry after, and plus the visuals. I'm really enjoying it, basically. I mean, it was legit the maddest idea. Well, I wouldn't say it's the maddest idea. I mean, we're both. I mean, based on people may give both of us the impression that we are locomotive locos, but in all seriousness, I mean, it all started when I think I messaged you about you doing palm reading and oracle reading, and then when I heard the palm reading, I'm like, That's right. You just posted up this post saying, "What do you all do in that group thing, and then I mentioned the palm reading, and then I blew your mind.
I know, you literally did blow my mind. I mean, yeah, so for all those that want to get the full context of what Becca means, is that due to the whole world isolating right now, except for probably Belarus, basic. Oh yeah, Sweden as well, with their very fascinating social experiment. But in any case, yeah, so there's this mutual group in regards to isolation and lockdown, and then there was a thread. I think I made the thread of what do other people do, and then Becca went, "Yeah, I'm an oracle and palm reader, innit?" So, so I was like,
exactly in that voice.
Yes, yes. So I then thought, you know what? Yeah, this individual sounds cool. And then I found out that not only that you're cool, but you also geographically not live too far away from me in this mysterious location. You know what I mean?
Exactly. In the great scheme of the universe, not too far away.
I know, it's mad. And then yeah, the whole the palm reading itself is actually around 20 minutes long, and of course, to make the palm chronicles mash up with the poetry aspects individuals, I had to obviously cut bits out.
Waffling.
Sorry?
All of my waffling is to cut out.
I mean, no, not at all. I did not cut out any or ahs. No, not at all. And nope, not at all. Not at all. Absolutely not. No. But yeah. So yeah. With that said, what did you think of? What did you think of all the episodes so far? Do you have any idea where this is leading to with the series finale?
Wow, every episode has been such a standalone surprise. I never know what's going to happen. I like the last one, the number 3 in Intense Raw. I really like the visuals for that. I like the sort of silent screaming behind the speaking. That was really cool. And I've liked the visuals for everything. I like the sort of snowy locked door for the second one. No, I'm curious as to where it's going to go next. I don't remember if you've told me what the title is for the next one. I haven't looked.
I can tell you right now for exclusivity because all right. So the next episode is titled. Let me just get it up. Not like that. This is a family-friendly podcast. Apparently, well, I don't think it's family-friendly because my co-host Jack, he swears quite a bit. So I don't think it's that family-friendly. All right. So chapter.
Also, being Australian, I may occasionally swear. I can't help it.
That's what I had a temporary co-host called the Daily Llama, and he's Scottish, so he said to me, Dre, I might swear quite a bit due to me being Scottish. It's like, wow, swearing is in a lot of people. So, right, so chapter 4 is titled, What Love Awaits You.
Oh, that took a turn. Wow. You've gone through all the darkness, all the despair, and now we get to see what love will await you.
It could just be a title. I mean, the only person that knows what's going to happen is DrayZera, who you're talking to right now. Yeah. I think what I did is that in each chapter, I think I set up the notes right here. Like I have all these. So yeah. So literally, I wrote like 5-6 pages of notes of what you said. So you basically split it up with the palm reading of air and fire, lifeline, destiny, and then the Aphrodite and love part of the section. Yeah, so it shows you how much attention to detail. I literally spent 10 seconds flicking through my notes, reminding myself of what my notes were. So yeah, legit. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, well, I'm looking forward to it. So like I must have told you, I consciously forget every palm reading I do, so I don't carry that person around with me. So I don't remember what I told you. but I'm so curious.
So it's kind of like a surprise, like, ooh, is that me?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it's like listening to my voice. Speaking these things, I'm like, wow, that's definitely me. I recognize my voice. But, whoa. What are you saying? It's a surprise.
So of course, I don't just want to talk about the Prom Chronicles, which is the main reason why we are chatting together in unison, but I also want to talk about the legend behind the Lion Queen. Like, who is Becka in the sense, in the sense of how did it all come about of you being fascinated by palm reading and oracle reading, and the whole spiritual aspect that it belongs to? I mean, essentially, I'm just asking you, what paints us a story of you?
Okay. Well, I guess the story of me is a long and winding one. But the story of specifically, the palm reading and things like that is, there was a time in my life where I was living on the streets for a couple of years, basically living in squats.
In where, sorry? I didn't catch that, sorry.
Oh, living in squats.
Oh, squats. Oh, wow. Okay.
I was living so the first one I lived in was an abandoned pub, which was like amazing because I had this piano downstairs where I played piano every day and pool table, and it was right in the inner suburbs.
And were there quite a few people in this squatted location, or?
Yeah, like we tried to keep it quite secret, but obviously we would shit that. So yeah, at one point I think there was 15 people there, but to begin with there was, I don't know, maybe 5 or something.
And was this during the time that you were down under?
Yeah, this is when I was in Australia.
I see. And to paint a picture about when this is, because obviously nobody is asking for your age, but I'm asking in terms of era. Was this during the 90s or the 00s, or just to give us the kind of like idea of when this was?
It was when I was about 23, which I don't know, I'm 35 now. So what's that? That's like 10 and a bit years ago. I'm sure with maths.
Yeah, that's about 12 years ago, give or take.
There you go. Yeah, so about 12 years ago. And so I've always enjoyed reading people for my own amusement, but obviously you can't just go up to people in the streets and be like, sort your shit out. So what I did is I took advantage of this isolation, and I spent a week just in my room working on my mind, just going inside and solidly working on my mind, and flicking switches and sorting things out. And I flicked the switch, which I then couldn't turn off. So I flicked the switch, which basically heightened all the readings. So it meant that whenever I was walking down the street, it was as though people were screaming at me their thoughts and feelings and anxieties and hopes and dreams, and I could just read everything. And so that was really intense, obviously, like very, very, very intense. So I fell into the palm reading, and I don't really know how. It just came to pass that I sort of fell into the palm reading as a lovely way to filter it, to have a switch, to turn it on when people present me with their palms, and to turn it off again when I'm not looking at them. And so that's how it came to pass. And then eventually started reading to the public in 2011. And that's it.
Were you motivated, because obviously, without sounding disrespectful, living in a squat is not ideal for anybody, and that's putting it lightly. And obviously, did you find palm reading as a fascination that has been there, like some sort of version of it, for your whole life, or was it a form of escapism? Because I'm assuming that the whole palm reading kind of thing, that it really grew as you were living in not in the best kind of environment.
Well, it's funny that you should say that, because actually living in the squat was probably both the best of times and the worst of times. In many ways, it was wonderful. It was very free because there was no societal constraints. I didn't have to worry about anything. No rent, no bills, nothing. And so it was actually a very free, artistic, creative time in my life. but also it was really shitty, you know.
Aye.
But so in a way, yeah, I don't know. I think it was just a time when my mind was sort of changing, was developing. So yeah, I don't really have to answer the question.
I mean, all right. Let me put it in a different way. Would if you weren't living in the squatted environment, would you still get into palm reading and all that kind of stuff eventually, or do you feel? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I reckon definitely it was a path. You know, I reckon that I was always destined to find something like this. And I think it has always been deep inside me, because I feel very much me when I'm doing it. I don't feel like a different person. I feel like I'm at my core.
Right.
So I think definitely 100%. If it's not, you know, in the way it came to pass, it would have happened some other way.
I see. So in other words, the final jigsaw piece would have finally been fitted in anyway, regardless.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I mean, it is really fascinating, because for me, I've always been fascinated by the spiritual or fantasy world, and I think it all really began when I started watching cartoons when I was a kid, and I mean, I'll be straight up and honest. Like, obviously, for me, my upbringing didn't have as many, let's say, without putting it in a polite way, risk in terms of living in a squatted environment. But at the same time, everything's relative. So I would say that my upbringing was alright overall. But with parents living in a way that is a different level of culture, a different cultural direction, which is very constrictive because of my Asian heritage, right? So I found spiritualism and fantasy and that kind of world was a real form of escapism for me. And
fascinating.
And even though I never really thought to myself of myself practicing tarot reading or palm reading or oracle reading and the like, but I've always been fascinated by it, because I mean, I always feel like, for me, I'd rather be an open book rather than a closed chapter.
Yeah.
Because I feel that,
that's very good.
I mean, I feel like a percentage of people might just laugh at people that, for example, are tarot readers or anyone that nibbles into the spiritual world, because obviously people think very logically, or quote unquote logically, and want to say this way is this way and not the other way, you know? I mean, have you had anyone try and knock you back in the life that you live and your philosophies?
Well, I've had loads of people come to me for readings, kind of being super duper skeptical, you know, being like, oh, I'm all like, this is science or whatever, and then just sitting down and having a reading and then going, oh, okay, yeah, fair enough, that palm reading exists, I believe you now. So, you know, I think that, and I have had, and obviously, I've had loads of people in my life kind of tell me that I'm crazy, or, you know, not doing things like correctly, or, you know, things like that. You know, also I've got an Asian mum, so
you know the struggle.
Yeah, exactly. I understand.
Aye.
But, yeah, I think the way is that loads of people, like, everybody has a different way of seeing the world, and everybody has a different way of coming to their truth. And you can never force it. I think that's the thing with tarot, palm reading, crystals, whatever it is that you do, even if it's like mainstream religion, you can't force it upon people, because they have to come to it in their own way.
Absolutely.
So if you just, you know, yeah. So, and I think that's where people go wrong sometimes. They just try and make people believe. I don't care if people believe in palmistry or not. If they want me to read their palms, I will. So that makes a difference to me.
I see. And here's a curious question I was thinking about. Have you ever read your own palms, or would you prefer not to?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the kid. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. The joys of I can edit that bit out. Carry on.
Can you ask me the question again?
Yes, boss. The question is that have you read your own palms, and how often have you done that?
No, so this is how come oracle reading came to pass, because the truth is I can read my own palms, but I don't like to. I don't like to know my own future, because by accident when I was 21, I saw ahead. I've seen as well when I'm going to die and stuff like that, and I kind of bloody wish I hadn't. So I try my very best not to read my own palms. It's too much, and so that's why I have the oracle cards, because I read them.
I see. That is I think that's a very, very fair answer. So, okay, so right, I'm going to ask you 2 questions, and then we are going to return to our regularly scheduled broadcast with myself and Jack. So here is 2 questions for you. Here are 2 questions for you. Right, the 2 questions are: 1, what do you think is going to happen in the final episode of the Palm Chronicles? And question 2, which is linked to the podcast that we've just been chatting about, me and Jack, is Tupac alive or dead?
Okay, so question number 1 is, I think that DrayZera will eventually find his way out of the darkness by finally embracing his heart and following it with no qualms. And is Tupac alive or dead? I think Tupac is dead physically, but alive in everyone's heart forever.
I see. So you've never heard of the theories behind him faking his own death and hiding in Cuba?
I think I have heard many, because, this has been going on forever, right? I think I've heard many theories, but I don't know.
I see.
I'd like to think that he was dead at peace somewhere.
Interesting. Well, Becca, before we sign off, do you have any socials to plug?
Oh, yes, of course. So there's my Facebook page, which is the Becka Mysteries. Instagram is also the Becka Mysteries. I'm not very good at plugging things. I don't know. Just contact me and have your palms read. It'll be magical.
Woo! Well, don't you worry. I've already got the socials ready to put on the podcast, so people can clickety-click without a wick.
Perfect.
Right. Well, Becca.
I guess
sorry. Go on.
The thing to mention would be that I can do remote readings. So obviously yours, I didn't see your palms in person. I saw them as photos.
Yes, to clarify, me and Becca, we haven't touched each other's hands. We have been isolating. We could easily meet each other if we didn't have the whole kind of constraints of what the current world is facing right now. But we have never met, but we have talked, we have heard each other's voices a bit.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, you were saying that you can get the palms read via photos being sent, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So anyone, anywhere in the world, I can read their palm. Just let me know.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Becca, for your time, and and no worries, and I'm sure we'll catch up soon.
Cool. Thank you very much for having me on your channel. I really appreciate it.
No worries. My pleasure. Thank you. And we are back for DrayZera Uncensored. Wow, what a mad thing. Becca chiming in with her opinion on Tupac. Now moving on to Tupac, to a man with a questionable toupee. Jack, you brought on to light literally just before we came on air, before recording, King Jong-un.
Yeah.
So, is he dead or is he alive?
Apparently he's either in a vegetative state or he's dead. He's riding around in a train like Metro Exodus.
Oh my god, like, oh man, like, so right, so, what was it that you told me? I'm just gonna bring it up. Cause, like, literally, just before we came on air, it's like, oh no, King Jong-un! Like, oh, for God's sake, like, we talked from one murder mystery to a potential new murder mystery, for God's sake, man.
This is a dark episode today.
This is a very dark episode. I mean, yeah, like, so, man, here's the thing, right, regardless if he's dead or alive, who cares in the sense of, not saying in a bad way, I don't want anyone dead, but North Korea is North Korea, right?
Yeah, he's not very nice to his people.
Neither was his dad, or his family, or the whole regime.
What happens when he dies? Does someone else take over?
Yeah, I think apparently it's either one of his sisters, I think, takes over, apparently. Yeah, what was it? Alright. So, yeah, oh yeah, hold on. Yeah, this is what you told me. You said to me, I think he's a piece of shit for what he's doing to all those people, telling them that they are the only place on the earth and that he is God or doesn't give a piss or shit. Man, you said shit twice. That was very mad thing. But yeah,
he does, though. Apparently he doesn't. He tells his people apparently he don't know if he piss or shit, and he's like supposed to be like a god towards them.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he pisses and shits just like everyone else. To be fair, I mean, he doesn't really. Without sounding disrespectful, you don't look at Kim Jong-un and go, God, he must be God. You know what I mean? And it's at this point that North Korea finds out about this podcast, and one of us is going to go.
Yeah.
Oh man, just
get assassinated on the way to the ring in the next match.
Oh man, don't say that. Don't say that. Like, we've already. Can you imagine? Like, there'll be a third murder mystery.
I'll just fake my death. I'll have another Jackie Hyde like walk to the ring, and then I'll like mysteriously vanish in a helicopter. And the other one can take the heat.
Oh man, yeah. So this is just mad because it was apparently Japanese news that broke it that Mr.
You hear how King Jong-un was born, based on the regiment's official biography of him.
What's that? Say that again.
Oh, do you know how King Jong-un or whatever? I don't know how you say his name.
His dad.
We'll call him Kim. Yeah.
Yeah, Kim. That guy Kim. Yeah, go on.
It was born on Korea's most sacred mountain, Mount Bukudu. I can't say these words.
Yeah, go on.
At the moment of his birth, a new star formed and illuminated the sky. The season suddenly changed from winter to spring, and a double rainbow appeared.
You're not making this up, are you?
Their official biography.
Double rainbow.
Yeah.
Do you think that they have amazing cannabis or like some mad drugs up in North Korea?
Yeah, I reckon it's like Far Cry 4.
Oh my days. Oh man. This is just so.
I reckon that game was based off North Korea.
You know, you might not be too far wrong with that. Not too far wrong. I mean,
it's based in like Himalayas, I think.
Well, North.
It's got similar kind of themes. You got the crazy dictator leader, aren't you, as well as the main bad guy.
I mean, North Korea itself, right? When North Korea was in the World Cup, I think it was 2014, I believe. Apparently, when they lost badly, apparently North Korea was like, no, we won. No, you didn't. We watched the game.
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
I know, right? It's like, man. And I mean, people from the North Korea, they defect and run to South Korea, and that's apparently a very dangerous journey as well, because...
Have you seen that? I've seen documentaries about that. It's wild.
It is. Yeah, no, I've seen it myself. I've seen it too. I mean, not myself personally. I mean, but it made me fascinated to the point that, did you know, and this is a very interesting way to close the podcast.
They don't even have internet, do they, though?
I'm pretty sure...
They're totally cut from the outside world. They're, like, unaware of everything that's
I am pretty sure King Jong-un has some banging internet at his house.
He's probably got like sick Wi-Fi.
He's probably
got 10G.
10G. Oh man.
Yeah.
We'll talk about we can talk about 5G or 10G in a much later episode. But anyway, here's the thing, right? This is very fascinating. So, North Korea actually has an interesting tourist industry where me and you, we can actually go to North Korea.
Not anymore.
Well, I mean, obviously not anymore, but basically what it is that there are a few conditions. One, you have to travel with a tour operator. You can't just go there. You can't just fly to North Korea or get a train from China.
Do you know that all their shops as well, they've all got like pictures drawn on the windows? It's not even like real shops.
Yeah, that's another thing that I heard. So, right, this is the interesting thing, and this is very, very random, right? This is very curious. So, this is what I've seen. This is legit videos, right? There was this, alright, Indigo Traveler, that's his YouTube name. He traveled to North Korea via a tour guide, right? A tour agency, right? You know, the whole inclusive holiday. So you can have a package of 3 days, 10 days, or 7 days. But it's all kind of like mainly what inclusive holidays are, is a very fake perception of what the country is.
Yeah.
But you do get to see the DPK, the kind of the border, the big palace border thing. You also
that'd be cool.
and you are allowed to shop, but you can only shop at this very specific location, which is only for tourists only, because you are not allowed to use North Korean currency. You can only buy in US dollars. So only people in North Korea can use North Korean dollars or won or whatever they call it in North Korea.
What an interesting place.
That is an interesting place. So we look forward to when the isolation is over. Who knows? Myself and Jackie Hyde could actually decide to go to North Korea and do an episode there.
Yeah.
And then you'll never hear.
Escape the border to South Korea.
I mean, what's the point of us doing that? We can go to South Korea anyway. South Korea will be fine.
Yeah.
Right, so...
Have you ever seen the interview with Seth Rogen and James Franco?
No, what's it about?
Basically, they go to North Korea, and they're interviewers, and they've got to assassinate King Jong. And, yeah, they basically trying to break him bad in with, what's it called? Ricin.
Is this satire?
This is an actual movie.
Oh, a movie. Oh, I was gonna...
Yeah, King Jong threatened to kill him over it.
Oh, wow. That's mad. That is mad. That's something to keep an eye on. Right, guys, we have reached the end of this episode of DrayZera Uncensored. My name is DrayZera. You can check me out on this channel. Please leave a like, leave a comment below what you think of the podcast. Do you think Tupac is alive or dead? Do you think King Jong-un is alive or dead? Do you think Jackie Hyde should start his next wrestling venture in North Korea? Please tell us all below. Jack is like, no.
No.
Alright, yeah, so Jack, tell us your socials, which will be in the description below anyway.
Jackie Hyde.
And for the 100th time, we're also going to link your favourite profile, Plenty of Fish.
Oh, yeah. I've kind of had to uninstall it off my phone.
Really?
Yeah, needed space.
Literally, like, go away, I don't need anybody right now.
Yeah.
It's okay, man, you can still access from your PC or laptop, in case anybody commenting below or sees the link wants to be Plenty of Fish with Jackie Hyde. Alright guys, well, thank you very much for watching. This is DrayZera, and this is...
Jackie Hyde, motherfucker!
And we shall Zera later. Bye-bye!
Yo, peace out.